Let me shock you. So, kuna watu, there's some people who are doing exams, who are doing practice for a football match that will not happen.
While Kenya is busy watching Ruto fight Gachagua, the real puppet masters are playing a completely different game. Matiang'i-Kuria just told Citizen TV that Kenya doesn't need an election in 2027.
There's not going to be an election in 2027.
What we need is a national consensus, a unifying figure like Mwai Kibaki.
2002, yeah. Was there an election?
There was.
Yes. Kibaki had been pre-agreed.
Now, that might sound harmless until you realize that Kuria is not a fool. He's not talking about just anyone. He's talking about someone very specific, someone very powerful, someone very clean, someone waiting in the shadows. And that someone is Fred Matiang'i.
I want to assure you 100%. You can trust me. Yeah. I am going to spend all my time on this. I want us to see how we can...
Today, we expose the plan that no one is talking about. This is just not a political analysis. This is a silent coup in motion.
So 2027 will be another moment like 2002. There's not going to be an election in the sense that you are thinking. There's going to be so much consensus.
Here's my theory, and it's going to blow your mind. Kuria isn't actually working for Ruto. He's working for Fred Matiang'i. He's playing the longest con in Kenyan political history. Think about it. Kuria positions himself as Ruto's closest advisor. He gets access to every strategic meeting, every plan, every weakness. He knows exactly what Ruto is thinking, what moves he's planning, where he's vulnerable. But lately, something has changed. He's been aligning himself with Jubilee.
Well. Matiang'i-Kuria just posted this on his X account. And he also changed his X profile to a picture of Uhuru Kenyatta. And remember, 3 days ago, he congratulated Uhuru Kenyatta of winning back Jubilee Party. So what is going on here?
He's warming up to Uhuru Kenyatta, and he started talking like a man who knows something the rest of the country doesn't know.
So much consensus around 2027. And the kind of election people are imagining is going to be there. It's not going to be like 2022. It's not going to be like 2017. It's not going to be like 2013. There will be so much consensus.
Meanwhile, Matiang'i stays clean. No drama, no public fights, no controversial statements. He's building his brand as the competent technocrat.
Let us focus on solutions, finding solutions to our problems.
Yes.
Half of our problems have nothing to do with money. They have to do with management and leadership.
Yes.
We are better people. We have sufficient capacity in the country to manage the country better.
Amen.
And let us all now cross ranks, come together, focus on solutions to the problems we face.
Yes.
Not the people, not the solutions. Let's focus on solutions.
While everyone else burns their political capital in public battles.
Wewe Sobrano.
Mimi ni noma si noma. Mimi ni fire si fire.
You want me to tell you how to make me come?
When Kuria compared 2027 to 2002, he wasn't being random. Remember 2002? Moi's chosen successor, that was Uhuru Kenyatta, got crushed by Mwai Kibaki. The system candidate lost to the consensus candidate.
Ilikuwa ngapi?
71
to 20 something. Yeah. Is that an election? That is almost like we're almost rivaling Museveni with his 98%. So because it was a moment. Yeah. So 2027 will be another moment like 2002.
In 2002, 3 things happened. The old system was cracking under pressure. There was a technocrat waiting in the wings. That was Kibaki, seen as a competent and above the political mess.
Alafu siku ile mimi niliuliza nyinyi pale Uhuru Park, ati hii mzee Kibaki si ametosha? Na mkasemaje? Gachagua akasema tio Raila alifanya makosa. Mimi niliuliza wananchi na wananchi walisema Kibaki ametosha.
Then there was the elite consensus that change was needed, but managed change.
And that will be the impetus, that will be the incentive that is going to make people sit around the table and say, to save this country, we are going to do wewe utapata hii ingine.
Now look in 2025. Ruto's government is under massive pressure. There's a technocrat waiting, that is Matiang'i, and there's a growing elite consensus that maybe they picked the wrong horse in 2022.
All the people who have worked with William Samoei Ruto in a journey, like Moi, who nurtured his political career, like Isaac Ruto, who was his political friend, confidant, ni mtu wa kwao, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta for 10 years, his boss, all of them, they want Kenyans against William Samoei Ruto. All of them who have worked with them have want Kenyans against William Ruto. The only people who support William Samoei Ruto ni wenye tu wamemuona kwa kanisa akilia, here in Mount Kenya.
Question is, when is the last time you saw Matiang'i in the headlines for the wrong reasons?
Yeah, that's why you have not had me making negative statements and so on. Because as I always tell you, my brothers and sisters, negative energy has no returns.
Yes. While Ruto fights fire and Gachagua screams about betrayal, Matiang'i is silent. Why? Because silence is strategy. Matiang'i is being preserved, protected, positioned. He's been kept away from the scandals, tribal wars, economic blame, and all the chaos that's damaging everyone else.
Do you think he became too arrogant?
He was not arrogant, he was drunk. He was drunk. He was just drunk, you know. And then we go for meetings. All he does is kutusomea.
Because when Kenya gets tired of the noise,
Number one term. Wewe William Ruto. Wewe Kasongo.
they'll be looking for peace. And Matiang'i, like Kibaki in 2002, will be waiting, untouched, respected, ready.
The drive is we register, we vote, we prepare ourselves to participate effectively and in a quality manner in the forthcoming electoral process.
The endgame isn't just Matiang'i, it is a Matiang'i-Kuria ticket. Think about the perfect blend. Matiang'i brings the technocrat credentials, the man who made interior ministry work.
Hatuwezi kushiriki katika mambo ambayo inadhuru watu wetu. Eti watu wanaibiwa, sisi ndio tunaenda kuuliza watu wanaibia watu wetu.
Who brought discipline to education.
From two north. Yes. What lesson is this? Kiswahili. Where is the Kiswahili teacher? Where is the Kiswahili teacher?
Kuria brings the political muscle, the insider who knows how power works.
That man there in the corner.
Yes.
Could he be part of the consensus?
This one?
Yes.
Of course.
Huh?
This one is a consensus builder. He's a peaceman. And he's a nationalist. Yeah. I can do a rally in any part of this country without a local MP.
The strategist who can outmaneuver anyone. Together, they cover every base. Clean plus strategic. Neutral plus ruthless. Competent plus connected. And most importantly, they are not Ruto, they are not Gachagua, they are not Raila. They represent something new. Here's the brilliant irony. Rigathi Gachagua, in trying to fight Ruto and build opposition in the Mount Kenya, might be doing Matiang'i and Kuria a favor. He is softening the mountain, he's radicalizing the base, he's creating just enough chaos for Kenyans to beg for sanity. He's mobilizing the anti-Ruto coalition, building the energy, creating the movement. But here's what nobody realizes. He's not building it for himself, he's building it for Matiang'i.
Sasa Kenya hakuna mtu naongea nani atakuwa rais. Wanaongea ni nani ataondoka. Si ndio maana tunaendelea? Sasa yule atakuwa ndio nataka tupange. Kwa sababu hii nyingine mtu ya kufukuzwa hiyo imekubali. Sasa yule atachukua na vile serikali itapangwa. I want us to go together.
When the moment is right, the coalition Gachagua built will transfer its loyalty to the consensus candidates.
Tukishikana na wama tuongezewe Wakamba, Wakisii, Waluya, watu ya payslip, Gen Z, one term. This game is over. Unless tushindwe kujipanga.
The signs to back this are everywhere. For example, Kuria's positioning. He stays close to Ruto to get intelligence, but makes statements that subtly undermine confidence in Ruto's electoral prospects.
If you make them the best use of that one term. Assume it's one term, no problem. What's the problem? But the question is, what did we do with that one term?
And then there's Matiang'i's alignment. Everybody has seen his campaign vehicles and the whole machinery branded with Jubilee colors. He's building the establishment's coalition, Uhuru's money, network, and influence quietly backing the technocrats. And also there's the timing. Why is Kuria making these statements now? Because the ground is being laid. The pieces are being positioned. Here is how this will play out. Ruto and Gachagua continue their public war, each thinking they are playing for the presidency, while Matiang'i builds his consensus coalition quietly. Kuria continues feeding Ruto false intelligence while building the real campaign structure. When the moment is right, probably mid-2026, Matiang'i announces his candidacy with Kuria as his running mate. The establishment rallies around them. Uhuru's network activity, the anti-Ruto coalition transfers its royalty. The international partners, tired of the chaos, quietly signals their preference. And just like 202, the consensus candidates will win, while the incumbent will get crushed. So when Moses Kuria says that there won't be any election in 2027, maybe he's right. Not because Ruto will win easily, but because the outcome has already been decided in the shadows. Everyone's watching the noisy war between Ruto and Gachagua, but the real battle is happening in silence, in closed boardrooms, in quiet deals. If the plan works, Kenya won't have a normal election in 2027. It will be a coronation. Fred Matiang'i might be your next president, Moses Kuria your next deputy president, and Ruto will join the long list of leaders who never saw the betrayal coming. You heard it here first. The pieces are moving. And now, you know the real game that's been played. Subscribe.